welcome whoever you are to Meg's Magical Mansion, a virtual guest house for spiritual wayfarers, a place where the ordinary becomes magical, where wisdom is yours for the asking, where your higher nature is just a wish away. Thanks for joining us here today at the mansion. I'm Meg, and this is my trusty butler, Scallion. And of course, here in my lap is my slightly frightened assistant, Miss Alice Poopers. Thank you, Scallion. And Miss Poopers is scared today, Scallion, because we have some special guests coming. The ladies from ESP are coming.
Extrasensory perception?
No, silly. Explorers of Spirit Phenomenon.
I think I hear them calling.
I know who you are.
We're sorry, the number you have reached is not in service. Please check the number or try your call again. This is a recording.
Oh, Scallion, I don't think those were our special guests, but they're going to be able to help us with that ghost phone because the ladies from ESP are ghost hunters.
Will that be 3 for dinner?
Yes, Scallion, thank you. Well, that was rambunctious, wasn't it, Poops? But it does mean it's time for Words of Wisdom once again. And today, our words of wisdom come to us from the great bard William Shakespeare. And they are, now is the time of night, that the graves all gaping wide, everyone lets forth his sprite in the churchway paths to glide. Shall we meditate on that slightly spooky quote, Poops? I think we shall.
Relax. Float away into the realm of the spirits. The veil is thin. They're speaking to you. Your loved ones, your ancestors, they're not gone. They've just crossed over into another form. They're still there. They're talking to you right now. If you just listen, open your heart, your mind, and listen.
Oh, were you scared, Poops? Nah, she doesn't spook easily. And today we are talking all about ghosts and spirits and specters and spooks. I mean, oh, look, she's hiding her head. It is October after all. The veil is thinning. It's almost Samhain, which some of you people call Halloween. This is definitely the season for ghosts and spooks. And today I'm going to be sharing with you the interview I did with the lead investigators from ESP, Explorers of Spirit Phenomenon. So let's take a look at the interview and find out what it's like to be a Ghostbuster. We are very excited to have our special guests here with us today. We have got the ghost-busting team from ESP, Explorers of Spirit Phenomena. And I want to introduce to you some of my very dear friends. This is Terri Rohde, and this is Tracy Watts. And they are the founding members and lead investigators for Explorers of Spirit Phenomena. So, Tracy and Terri, tell us, how and when did you get into ghost busting?
We've both always been interested in the paranormal. It's just something that we have loved since we were children. I mean, kind of just glommed onto and read about and learned about and talked about and, you know, enjoyed, I guess. And then when I was with my late boyfriend, Ken, back in 2009, we had started attending some ghost hunts with a group out of Orlando. And we enjoyed them. They were a lot of fun and adventuresome and exciting. Except for one day Ken said to me, you know, the only thing I don't like is there's too many people. And you can't get good evidence. That's what he would always say.
Yes.
You can't get good evidence. And he said, we just need to form our own team and make it smaller so that we can get good evidence. So we did. And that's kind of where ESP was born. We started with like 6 of our best friends, because who else do you invite to be on your team? Hi, I want to be on our team. And so
I'm going to interject. She hooked me
I did.
with a picture of a ghost cat.
Mm-hmm.
And then a ghost cat video followed. And I was like, okay, I'm in.
And she's a cat girl. She's a cat girl, and I knew.
And I was a ghost girl
Yeah.
too.
Ghosts and cats.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can get her. Yeah.
Combination.
And that was our first, like, I guess you would say, amazing capture.
Could you explain to our audience a little more about Ken and his role in your team, past and present?
Sure. Yeah. So first of all, Ken was a doctor, an actual doctor. He was an emergency room physician for over 20 years. Then he opened his own practice back in 1990, and probably, if he was even close to accurate, and I think he was, had over 10,000 patients, and he was extremely well loved. He was the most brilliant, amazing physician that I've ever known in my life.
Diagnostician who was always
Right.
which really is irritating when you want to prove him wrong. And you
yes.
say, no,
we do not have asthma.
Would you like a second opinion? Yes, I would. Well, guess what?
We both have asthma.
Yes.
Thanks to Ken. They
Thank
say
you.
Ken gave us asthma, but no. he told us we
And
had.
this was not in the same year.
And it was
either.
not. No.
Yeah, mine came much later than
Mine
her
was
diagnosis.
first. Yeah. But yeah.
So we know Ken helped you start the team, and how
Right.
long did you have the team going before Ken transitioned to spirit?
So we started the team in 2009, and Ken transitioned in 2018. So we had a 9 years, 9 years very active. We traveled a lot. We did tons of stuff. He was very involved. He loved it. And it was like a joke kind of on our team. Whenever it was somebody's birthday, you got to pick where you wanted to go.
Book 'em, Dano.
Book 'em, Dano. That's what he would say. Just book it, Dano. And then he transitioned, and we made a conscious decision that we were not going to take his picture off the card, because now he's just our spirit guide, and he comes with us.
He really does.
He does.
So how does it feel to have a third team member who actually is in the spirit world? And how is that an asset? And what is the upside and the downside to that?
He joins
Oh my
us
gosh.
when we least expect
Yes.
it. And sometimes we're like, is this all you, Doc? Or
Yeah.
sometimes he facilitates
Right.
communication, and he still diagnoses people.
He does. He
Honest
does.
to
I'm
God.
not even kidding you.
We had an
We
experience.
have so much people that he's
And he's like, we get
We get messages from him that it's really weird. It's like it helps us to help people, and not in the normal way that a ghost hunter would help
No.
people, but in
No.
a totally medical
It almost seems like you have an in.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
that's almost like you got a little cheating in a good way.
Yes.
So you've been doing this for a long time. Could you tell everyone what was your very first ghost encounter?
Well, I'm gonna let Tracy take that one because she has an amazing one.
Well, I was 6 years old. And the most interesting thing about this is that it happened just down the street from where Ken and Terri lived for many years. Very, very rich in Native American history, but I lived with my parents, my brothers, in a small little mid-century modern house, on a canal, of course, because there's always water.
There's always a water connection. We've
Yeah,
learned.
and,
Water, trains.
I saw a woman. I woke up in the middle of the night, and there was a woman standing at my room just looking at me, and I was frightened. I was 6. I'm like, who is this strange woman? Why is she looking at me?
She screamed.
I did.
Yeah.
Apparently. I got out of the bed and I walked to the door and she just looked at me and she smiled. There was nothing menacing about her. Nothing. It's just the fact that there was a strange person in my bedroom.
Yeah.
And of course, my dad, my brother, everybody woke up, came running, and it took years because I didn't sleep in that room for 3 months. I slept with my brothers in their room, and it took like many years later for my father to admit that I did see something. We all saw something. We don't know, but I was an adult.
Yeah.
Before he would admit that, because it was, it's just your imagination. They tried to get me back to my room, and I was like, no, not sleeping there for a while.
So now that you're professional investigators, I love that.
I don't think
We
that's...
never resort.
So now that you're adult investigators, when you do get calls about a spirit disturbance, what does your investigative process look like?
So usually what we do first is we either make a phone call, like we try to do it together because we like the input of both of us, like listening at the same time.
And let me just ask you,
Yeah.
what questions would you ask a potential client to just discern, is there actual ghostly activity? Or is there just a upset and nervous person?
And honestly, mostly we don't know till we get there which way it's going to go, but we ask questions because usually when they call or email or message us, they've either seen something, heard something, or feeling something. Sometimes it's actual medical conditions, like they're having headaches or nausea and they're not sure what all the cause is in their home. Sometimes it's because all of a sudden their TV goes off at random times, or their lights go on and off, or other little things happen, like they see out of the corner of their eye just a little light or something. Sometimes it's pretty intense, like they'll actually see shadow figures or
hear voices.
We have had a lot more people.
Things get moved around.
Yes. And with the onset of like Ring doorbell and security cameras, we've had a lot more people call us with footage that they'll send us, and they'll say, look at this from my camera, look at this from my doorbell. But the problem is, until we go there, like we can't really, like people send us stuff and they're like, what do you think of this? And we're like, well, we weren't there. Like, were the lights on? Was it daytime? Was it nighttime?
Right.
Was there air conditioning on? Is there a vent? Was there a fan? We have like 6 million questions, and you find that a lot of people, they don't actually know those answers. Like they're not sure. And
so we try and recreate the situation as much as possible. And there have been times when we're like, I hate to tell you this, but you have really high levels of EMF. And
explain to everyone what that means, EMF.
Electromagnetic
for our audience.
Yes.
Field.
Yeah. So
energy.
it's like back in the day when microwaves first came out. And remember, we remember because we're a little bit older, but remember when microwaves first came out and they said, don't get too close to your microwave. Like that could be
Or
harmful.
even with your cell phone.
Right, or your cell phone. So all of those items, they emit a magnetic field. And sometimes those magnetic fields in just your average house can be very high. Not necessarily because of their microwave or their cell phone, but because back in the day, a lot of people have older houses, the wiring. So there's like just a whole lot of reasons why you could have this. But if you look it up, and I encourage people to research this because a lot of people don't really understand the harmful effects of high levels of EMF, and I've actually printed out, we both have printed out papers for people before, because they will give us physical symptoms and we'll say, here, this is why you're having this. And yes, there is a belief, and we do measure EMF in ghost hunting with equipment, and there is a belief that spirit can emit electromagnetic field, but so can a million other normal things.
Right.
So that's what we have to figure out. We have to figure out, is there something else that's causing this? So Yeah, a lot of times we've actually said to people, you need to get like an energy audit in your house, and you need to get them to check the wiring, and
Because it's way too high, and everybody's going to be
You're
having
gonna be sick.
headaches.
So you're not only saving people from ghosts, you're saving them from faulty electrical.
exactly.
There's been a few times
Yeah.
where we're like, oh my goodness, the energy, and then you look around and you can see sometimes where there's a lot of wiring that has been
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, rigged up in ways that it shouldn't be.
yes.
Right.
But a lot of times there are things that can't be explained.
Right.
And that's when we did have an incident with a woman who had a mist that set off her cameras. And it was, okay, we went and we investigated on more than one occasion, and it was like, wow.
And we thought, like, for sure, we're gonna see like an air vent right over where this mist was coming from. We're gonna see like a window, and we're gonna see like cars passing by, and we're gonna get that, you know, that lighting effect. No, none of it.
She just had missed.
Yeah, and it went on for a little bit, and she had a couple other incidents, and eventually it just kind of went away.
Was that the
as
lady
she-
with the dog?
It was.
Okay,
Yes.
that's the lady whose aunt came and talked to me.
Yes.
And said, tell her not to worry, I have the dog. And I said, are you doing the mist? And she said, isn't it great? And I said, well, yeah, but you're really freaking your niece out with the mist, and she's really nervous about it.
Yeah.
That's why she stopped. She was like, oh, I just thought it, she thought, like, you know when you learn a new trick?
Right.
And you just want to show everybody your trick?
Yeah.
She was literally like, look at my trick. I can do a trick. And it was freaking her niece out.
Yes.
And then there was the dog was barking. The niece could also
The dog
hear
had
the dog barking.
passed. Yes.
And the dog had passed away, and so had the aunt.
And
Yeah.
the dog's favorite chair. There was a lot of activity
Yes.
there. And the aunt was trying to tell her that
Oh,
she
the dog
has
is
a
okay.
dog.
Yeah.
She's like, I just want her to know I have the dog.
Yep, that was pretty
That was
amazing.
That was a really
Yeah.
cute one, actually.
Yeah.
What is the scariest experience you've had?
Now, I have to preface this by saying, like, we might look like, you know, chicks. Well, we are chicks, but, you know,
Yeah.
we might look like, you know.
But we are badass.
We are badass chicks. So
We don't get scared
we do not
easy.
get scared easily. And so people laugh about that when they hear, oh my gosh, you're going in that huge prison all by yourself, and you're going to spend the night.
Of
So
course
I
we are.
have to tell our audience, these ladies love prisons, abandoned hospitals,
Insane asylums.
abandoned mental
Mental
institutions.
Yes,
And
castles. We live in
Castles.
castles.
And I literally say to them, you could
Yeah.
meet some upscale ghosts in an old hotel. Now they would prefer to go to the
If
prison
there's an option.
or the mental institution.
Mental asylums
Mental is
are right
great,
up our
yeah.
alley. We had some crazy.
And, you know, we don't look for the negative. Like, I always tell people that because, you know, they watch a lot of TV. And it seems like almost everything on TV is very demonic all of a sudden. Everything is like, oh my God, it's a demon. No. So we've learned, that's totally not
Excuse
true.
me. Excuse me.
And hi,
Hi.
hi.
She got all excited about the
Demons. She wants to see demons. No.
No, she's
mental
positive.
institutions,
This
right.
is the positive.
And that's the thing, we only look for the positive. So we put out our intent in the beginning when we go to a place that is presumed haunted. Not necessarily a client's house, but like you said, an abandoned mental hospital or prison, something fun like that. We always put out our intentions that we only want to communicate with things of love and light. And basically, and I always like to knock on wood because my mom always taught me I should, knock on wood, that's really been the norm for us.
And I know you also do things to like cleanse and
We do.
and
We do
We do.
protect
We do.
and
we
ground.
cleanse and protect and ground. And so, you know, for something to kind of, let's say, get us, it has to catch us off guard. Because usually we try to be ready. And there's been a few times when I would say,
We were definitely caught off guard.
not ready. We're not ready. One of them is a well-known place. One of them is a absolutely completely unknown place. And so that even made it more interesting, I guess you would say. But yeah, so actually 2 of them are well-known places now that I think of
are
it.
you talking about the one where the door slammed behind you?
Oh my God, yes.
And
Just
we
dish
were-
the dirt.
Yeah,
Stop
okay,
hinting.
okay,
Tell the
okay,
story.
so King's Psychiatric on
in
Long
Long
Island.
Island, yeah, which you're not allowed to go in, and we
Yeah,
really,
don't go there.
yeah,
no,
we
No.
weren't trespassing.
we were not.
The door was open.
So it was open.
But okay, there are
And
some rules we follow. Sometimes I am the cautious one, believe it or not.
I'm not.
Pull
No.
her back. I do. I pull
I'm
her
the
back.
rebel. I'm the rebel.
And so
Yeah.
so we were just, it was a picture taking.
It was a picture
opportunity.
taking,
We
yes.
did not have any
We had
intention.
nothing with us. No equipment whatsoever.
No, I had a camera and we had our phones.
We had our phones, which didn't work, which was awesome.
Yep. Especially when the big heavy door slammed right behind Terri.
On the 3rd floor.
Yes. Which when you get up, it was lighter up there, so we could see, and that's why we
A
were
little bit,
on
yeah.
the
Third
third
And
floor.
let's just say, like,
There was no breeze outside.
no.
The window wasn't open.
No.
But
And like people hadn't been in this place. Like it was, like you're scuffling through dust and.
so Terry's way over there and I'm way over here, and we looked at each other and we're doing the
Like sign language, like what?
Because our first thought is the door just slammed shut. Is
Right.
there a junkie
Right.
in that room who
Because
heard
it's an
us?
abandoned building.
Yeah, is there some
Yeah.
random person here?
Yes.
And they could have a weapon.
Yes.
So we had to try to think rationally, and like it was hard because especially at this moment,
We are separated
Yes.
by this door.
and
She's on that side, I'm on
Yeah.
this side, and I'm like,
and she totally. It's so funny how we do this to each other, but like she became the ghost hunter, and I became the rational person at that
yeah,
moment.
usually
Yeah,
I'm
it's
pulling
not-
her
yeah.
off the ladders,
that's
out
me.
of the windows.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, we gotta open that
Yeah,
door.
she was like, yeah. She's like, we're gonna, and I'm like, whoa, whoa. Do
We
we
got
have anything with us like that we could even fend somebody off with if it's like an actual person? And we had nothing.
And
Nothing.
it killed me. It just killed every bit. It took a lot of
Yeah.
courage. I
Yeah.
crossed the door. I went
Yeah.
and stood beside her.
Yeah.
And we were there for a good
Ooh, it went
15
wild.
minutes, maybe longer, just back and forth.
And plus we were frozen at that first moment.
Yeah.
Frozen in our tracks. Like
Because I was like, we really need to open that door.
Yeah.
We really need. She's like, what if?
what if?
And I'm like,
And I just kept thinking, okay, because here was the thing.
They
Another
had a
thing.
knife.
If you're ever, we'll just say exploring, you should always make sure that someone knows
Oh
where you are.
yeah, that was
So
another issue.
no one knew where we were. Our cell phones had no signal.
So can I just say, if there are the rules to not follow in ghost hunting, well, this would be the what not
Right.
to do.
Well, what we did do, we did the right thing.
We did do the right thing.
We left.
We left.
But on the condition
Yeah, she made me promise.
that we would go back the very next day with
With
equipment,
equipment,
with emergency.
we took mace.
Yeah, and we were going to open that door because I had to know,
Right.
was it paranormal
Right.
or was there a person?
Right.
We went back. It took so
Took
much
Both
effort
of us and every bit of strength
to push
to
that
push
door.
that door open, and even getting it open like a certain amount. You know how when there's like a lot of dust or like, and as soon as something disturbs it, like you can see it. There was nothing. There were no marks, not an animal, not a human,
Nothing.
not a freaking butterfly. I mean, there was nothing.
So then and there we were like, okay,
Paranormal.
it has to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was pretty cool.
Please tune in next week for part 2 when we find out what is the funniest experience you've ever had.
And you know, we have fun. Like when we
Oh,
investigate,
God, yes.
if you go on our Facebook and like Google, because you can come up, you can pull up the videos and stuff like that, and you will see that we enjoy the heck out of what we do. So we laugh a lot. We find that does bring spirit. So, but there are several funny experiences, but there's one in particular that sticks out to me because it also was an unexpected place. where we got activity right from the get-go that we were not expecting to happen, so we weren't really prepared for that. We had rented an Airbnb.
Thanks for being here today at the Magical Mansion. I hope you enjoyed our conversation with the ladies from Explorers of Spirit Phenomenon. Thank you again, Tracy and Terri, for taking time out to stop by the mansion and share some of your adventures as ghost hunters with us. And in the words of Buddha, thousands of candles can be lit from a single candle, and the life of the candle will not be shortened. Happiness never decreases by being shared. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, ring the bell so we can let you know when we post new episodes. Check us out on the Instagram. And we will see you next week here at Meg's Magical Mansion.
Angelica, Bianca, are you girls prank calling people on the ghost phone again? You're so silly.
I know who you are.
We're sorry, the number you have reached is not in service. Please check the number or try your call again. This is a recording.